We should begin to rethink the way political organizing happens in DC. We still see huge disconnects between what's actually effective in organizing Latinos in particular and the dollars that are going into these massive campaigns that are predominantly still run by white consultants that have a lot of influence and a lot of power and have no connection whatsoever with Latinos, with immigrants, with Spanish speakers. And so we think that's a fundamental issue as we think of this new majority, because if we don't change ourselves and our strategies, it's a recipe for failure.
And it's not just going to be about us pushing political leaders and holding political leaders accountable. In this new world of how policy is made, it's going to be about us holding corporations accountable too. Corporations that every single day come into our communities and say, buy our products and use our services, and then go out to push laws that advance income inequality, have a grip on our political leaders to the point where elections matter, but they have less meaning in some parts of this country because corporations can come in and decide what laws are put on the books and not put on the books.
I keep thinking about Occupy and what they contributed to the conversation of income inequality. Activism became much more visible. It was in the news a lot more, and with the use of social media and hashtagging. So then you're thinking on the international level as well.
Specifically, we're talking about those kids in Steubenville, Ohio, that rape case.
That rape happened in August, and Steubenville, Ohio brushed that case under the rug. No one heard about it until someone from Anonymous somehow got the entire country to focus on it with like laser beams. We're all focusing. So I feel like there's definitely something you can learn from Anonymous when it comes to getting messages across.
But it's also taken online organizations like Ultraviolet and others, to then take what Anonymous did, and to move an actual organizing strategy, giving people ways that they can plug in, make their voices heard. And so so while they may not necessarily be working hand in hand with Anonymous, it also requires a type of organizing on top of it that it just doesn't become a media story without the ability for people to engage and make change actually happen.
And we know it's possible because we saw workers walk off the job to draw attention to things like, the federal tip minimum wage is $2.17 an hour. That's ridiculous. It's unconscionable. So when you have people walking off the job at McDonald's or Walmart to draw attention to the issue, and then most importantly coming back to work without repercussions, I think it speaks to what collective action can do.
We as everyday people have to do all we can to ensure that people are informed and are given the tools to be able to hold these corporations accountable and raise their voices. Because if we don't do that, then we will continue to send people to office inside of a system that doesn't give them the power to make the changes that we think we want.